10th, 2025 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'll ask all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to please stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
Ma'am, you going to be swearing in?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you provide the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Okay, cases may be taken out of order, and they will be tonight. You guys want to mark up your agenda. Our first case will be case number 252911. Second case will be 252866.
It's on the second.
Yeah, I got it.
Third case will be 252930. Fourth case will be 252829. And then Cheryl, we have a 2828. And then number 5 will be case 25-2828, and then we'll go back to the beginning and get the missing one. Okay? All right. At this time, I'd like to ask all board members if they've had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communication and provide a copy to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting down here. Have you had any ex parte?
None. I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
None?
I've had none.
Thank you. Minutes of meetings. Everybody should have gotten a copy of the August 13th minutes. If anybody has any additions or changes or corrections, if there are none, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. On to the first case, please.
First case is case number 25-2911, City versus Edie Antonio Barbero Escobar, for the property located at 6125 Liberty Avenue.
Morning, Chair. All right, good evening, Chair, board members. In this matter, the city is asking that this case be continued for 30 days till our next meeting. There are several issues with this property that may or may not result in additional violations. We are actually sitting down with the property owner and the representative, and if there are more violations, we'd rather they all come once rather than a bunch of piecemeal. So we'd just be asking for a continuance of this.
Board, can I get a motion to postpone this matter until our next meeting?
Sure. All right, so in case number 25-2911,
we would, the violation is section 8-28-8-1. I move that that we move the case out until our next meeting, which is October 8th, 2025.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. On to the next case, please.
The next case is case number 25-2866, City versus Terrace Oaks HOA, Inc., care of West Coast Management and Realty, Inc., for the property located at 10325 Councils Way. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-620, Stormwater Discharge Control, Section 12-618, subsection E, Stormwater Enforcement and Legal. This case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by a citizen concern on July 16, 2025, of a damaged storm drainage system causing a depression from a collapsed pipe allowing soil or suspended solids to enter the city's storm system and causing a threat to the public safety and welfare. I went directly to a notice of violation NOH combination on July 17, 2025, and scheduled the case for the September Municipal Code Board hearing. I contacted the property management company and emailed them a copy of the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and posted a copy at the site. And a copy was also posted at City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the site taken by myself on July 17th and August 27th, 2025.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit number 2 shows the depression. Exhibit number 3 shows the depression. At this time, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Any questions for the code officer?
Yeah. So are you in agreement, the city's in agreement with the statement that this is a public hazard, or the?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's, the depression just keeps getting, was a ditch to begin with, and it just, obviously, there's either a hole or crack or something within the pipe, and more soil is being displaced, and it's creating little voids. You can see like a hole is showing up in there, and it's, so, yeah, and then the bank seems to be eroding.
And so,
In addition, just the fact that it's causing silt and dirt to get into also the city's stormwater system.
okay.
Any other questions? Rod?
I wanted to ask, is this on the property or on the right of way of the city?
No, it's on private property.
On property, and what does it have? What is this purpose of this pipe there? Is that a pipe that I see in the?
Yeah, it's a drainage collection pipe that goes from a basin into a pond.
That's underneath the ground, correct?
Correct, the pipe's under the ground.
But there's a hole there. Can you explain
That's-
that to me? Just
Yeah, there's a hole in the pipe, and it's causing soil and things to go into the pipe
Collapse.
and
and
causing
it's
a
the
collapse.
responsibility of the property owner.
Correct.
So it's not collecting anything from outside of the
Community?
the community.
No, sir.
Go ahead.
We know what the pipe is? I mean, is it a pipe from
It's a
property,
drain pipe.
or is it a municipal pipe, or?
No, it's not a municipal pipe, it's on private property.
Stormwater pipe.
Right, yeah, I thought I had, but yeah, it goes from a pond with a blowout to a collection basin, so it collects the water at one point, carries it roughly 100, 125, 150 feet to a,
It's a stormwater pipe, right?
correct.
Yeah. But it's collapsed and it's got a hole in it, so now debris are getting into that pipe that shouldn't be getting in there.
Oh,
Go ahead. Right, yeah, yeah.
any communication with property owners?
I've spoken several times to the property management company, and they have sent me copies of proposals they've gotten, but apparently it seems like about the time they get a proposal and try to contact the contractor that they got it back from, they can't ever seem to get a hold of them, or nobody responds to their request once they've gotten a proposal.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you. The respondent is here.
Yes, sir.
Come on up, state your name and address for the record, please.
James Ashworth, 10...
Wait till you get to the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
James Ashworth, 10328 Council's Way, in Temple Terrace. I'm one of the HOA there.
Okay.
We are obviously aware of it, and we've been trying to get contractors, and I have a couple of invoices which the code enforcement has seen. He's seen as well, which are large from the companies that have actually showed up for it.
You have invoices or proposals?
Proposals, my apologies, yes, I keep saying that. And we would like a 60-day extension to try and, because we would need to pull the special assessment to budget for it. And we've been hit with a few different other proposals because we've had issues with our pool that we've been having to pay for and other things like that. So on top of that, this happened. So our funds were.
Do you want to enter your proposals into the record? It's up to you. You don't have to. It's up to you.
Oh, I have them right here, so. The proposals from the companies?
Your choice, whatever you have.
Okay.
We don't have this.
These are spare copies, or?
We don't have to. I also have a copy of the financials.
Like, we don't have.
Oh, no. They were emailed to you, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let the chair know.
Go back to the mic, please.
I do have a copy of our financials, most recent financials. It's not complete because my my ink died this afternoon. If you guys would like that as well.
It's up to you. If you want to enter them into the record, we'll accept them.
Okay.
Any questions for the respondent? Go ahead.
Not so much for the respondent, but for the inspector.
Oh, okay. He was, okay.
I have a
Before the,
Let's get the questions for the respondent first, and then we'll bring the inspector back, bring the code enforcement officer back up. Go ahead, Rod.
did you take any measures to protect, it's very simple before you do all this, I know the time you might be given, but to protect people from falling in, you can put some kind of silt around it and hazards or something to prevent people from, I don't know, I don't know the site, but it seems to me it's open to the public, so.
There is cones up at the moment, but there's not, I don't know if there's anything I could put,
So if I may, the city has put up cones and some caution tape around it. The hole it's hard to see from the picture. It's about 5 feet deep. It's pretty deep and it's very close to the right of way. So the cones are there as a precautionary measure just so people can see it as they're coming through. As you're entering the neighborhood, it's off to your right-hand side. And if you venture off the road, you will go into that ditch. It's a pretty deep ditch.
But you've got cones and tape, right?
Correct.
Okay, so the answer is yes.
Yes, they do have, okay. I did
Any
not
other
see-
questions for the respondent? Go ahead, Ron.
So you're representing the HOA or the
Yeah, I'm on the
realty
HOA
company?
board, yes.
Okay, so this is something that the funding would have to come from the people that live there, is that?
yes.
Okay,
So we'd have to,
okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the respondent? Okay, you can have a seat, sir.
all right.
Go back. We have a question for you.
Is it possible for them to cover the pipe in some way to prevent silt and other debris from entering the pipe as a temporary measure while they're waiting for their contractors to schedule the work?
Pipe's not visible, just the holes and depressions that are showing up, so I'm not sure how they would go about doing that would be secured.
trying to prevent further damage to the system.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, that's along those same lines, what's the risk of this to the city, if it's left unattended?
If it's left unattended, it would just be a matter of getting backwash possibly into the city storm system.
Okay,
And somebody falling in the hole.
Well, right, yeah,
and the liability of that.
liability,
But that's on the HOA.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
There's no other questions, I will entertain a motion. Rod?
In case number 25-2866, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 10325 Council Way, Temple Terrace, with the applicable code violation, Section 12-620 and Section 12-619, subsection E. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that this said violation be corrected on or before November 12th, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order or on before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past due set for compliance upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator. I move that the fine be $50 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion?
I
Go ahead.
know he asked for 60. We generally like to see that progress is being made, and you're going to November. I wouldn't mind doing 30. And just seeing what progress has been made, just to make sure that we have something on the books that, assuming they come back.
I agree with you at the beginning, but when I saw that this is a serious thing, and I asked about that, my main concern is he mentioned, the backwash in the city, and endangering the life of people being around there. If they have some kind of protection, and this takes some time, so probably it's a major thing. I did not want it to just come back and just give another 30 days. Well, let's give him 60 days, and then we'll go from there. That was my gut feeling, Brian. I agree with you on certain situation, but in this situation, I kind of like.
I just like to see
yeah.
the progress, that there's still effort being made.
I think our code enforcement people will keep us informed. So.
And they've got to do a special assessment,
Yes.
collect the money, and then pay.
I
There's
understand
certain
that.
things,
Again, I'm just voicing the opinion, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no other comments, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so you've been given until November 12th to bring the property into compliance. If for some reason you can't bring the property into compliance by November 12th, you'll have to come back to see us that night, and at that point, you're welcome to ask for an extension. There is no guarantee you will receive one, but you are welcome to ask. Okay? Good luck. Thank you. Next case, please.
Case number 25-2930, City versus River Park Community Association, Inc., for the property located at 7788 Rosewood Garden Loop. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 28.840, subsection E, subsection 1, calm buffers, good repair, and Section 11.120.9, sanitation, premises clean. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on July 22nd, 2025 for damaged and missing vinyl and Simtech fencing. I prepared a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of August 22nd, 2025. Posted a copy at the property, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed both certified and regular mail to the address of owner of record. My reinspection on August 25th, 2025 showed no change, so a notice of hearing was prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the September Municipal Code Board meeting. This is the new D.R. Horton subdivision on Temple Terrace Highway. Due to the storm last year, the required perimeter buffer fencing surrounding the site that was part of the approved site plan was damaged, and much of it is no longer in place. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on July 22nd and August 25th, 2025.
We'll accept those, thank you. I was looking at the picture.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the for the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the posting for the hearing notice. Exhibit number 3 shows some of the missing fence. Exhibits 4 through 5 show copies of the approved site plan with type of fencing noted. Exhibit number 6 is a letter from the Community Development Director, Greg Pauley, stating that a perimeter fence is required per the approved submitted site plan. The case is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Could you go
Yeah,
back?
did you see, I didn't see the,
Yeah, could you go back to the picture of the actual, can you,
What-
what exactly is missing?
yeah, I don't,
There's no fence.
well,
Well, I see it, I'm looking at a fence.
Yeah, it's a vinyl, supposed to be a white vinyl fence on the back side.
Oh,
of the
okay.
Dog park?
That's a dog park, so on the back
Okay.
side of that, it's supposed to be a white
Oh,
vinyl fence
Okay,
surrounding the
gotcha.
property.
That's what's missing.
Roughly, I would guess, close to 700-800 linear feet of fencing missing.
Okay.
and sorry,
You had a question?
yeah. And it was it ever, you're saying it
It
was installed and it
The
was
storm-
damaged?
Yeah, the storm, one of the two hurricanes we had
Okay.
wiped it out.
And the second violation is something about,
Yeah,
they have some
gone
storms.
around and picked up a lot of the slats, the white vinyl
Okay.
fence slats, and stacked them in a stack there, but concerned with hurricane season being here, that those things could
Yeah,
just blow
yeah,
around and go anywhere.
So that's the
the
debris,
second
the debris from the fence being
Oh, yeah.
damaged.
Thank you.
Okay, I got you now. All right.
Any other questions for the code officer? Thank you. Is the respondent here? Want to come up, want to vote through? Have you guys been sworn in? Have they been sworn in?
Yeah, they were both sworn.
My name is Niraj Chanda. I'm the LCAM, the licensed community manager of the association. That's Seifel, the board president of the association.
Okay.
I have been in contact with Doug throughout this process. I took over managing the community earlier this year. They turned over from the developer in December, end of December, start of January. And the hurricanes were last year. Part of the issue is that the insurance that was put in place does not cover that type of fence. And also, obviously, that means that funding has to come from the homeowners at this point. But the other part is what we've been in communication with planning about is changing that type of fence to a metal fence that can withstand those winds, instead of putting a fence back in that they're going to end up having to pay for again. Problem with that is because it's already submitted on the landscaping survey, or what was submitted on the site plan, it needs to go through the site modification process. And I have communication here from me to Alyssa Livingstone from planning. Also have pictures regarding the second violation of the slats. We've removed those as of Friday of this past week, and I have those pictures here with me as well, of the before and after, what it was before and after we've already removed it. So we are going through that process with site modification. That's kind of what is adding to this delay. And that's where our process is at. We're also trying, that site modification, we're trying to change what is allowed on the north side, I believe, is Simtech. Along 78th is Simtech. We're gonna keep, we have no problem keeping that. The problem is in the front, it's closer to, what I have here is 972 feet, so it's closer to 1,000 feet up in front, the entrance from Temple Terrace Highway, which is what he's talking about. That picture that you saw is that entrance from Temple Terrace Highway. And then on the left-hand side, which is, there's a pond that is on the left-hand side that runs along Florida College. The board is wanting to put chain link fence in that area, which originally Malik, I don't remember his last name, from planning, told us we were allowed to, but they've also came back after the fact to say that we are not allowed to. We have to go through the site modification process first, which obviously provides its own delays. And I have that paperwork here. If you want me to submit that, I can do that as well.
Any questions for the respondent? Go ahead, Bill.
Just so I understand, you're saying that you're going to keep the plastic fence except in the front? Is that, Simtech is the, is
The tech
that?
is basically the same. It's a composite fence, except it's no
Right.
slats. They're not the single slats like that. It's one big panel
Oh, okay.
and posts, which they intend to keep. But there are still missing pieces that need to be replaced there as well.
Okay.
But in along Temple Terrace Highway, that's the only section, which we've also already repaired a section of it, which is close to where the lift station is on site. And I actually have that estimate here, which we've already paid. They've already done the work. It's already been replaced.
But ultimately, you want to have metal fencing?
Exactly,
in
black
the-
railing, black aluminum
Just,
railing.
but just along Temple Terrace?
Exactly.
Highway?
So you're delaying the vinyl fencing to see if you can't get the site plan modified.
Exactly. And we've since also put new insurance in place as of this year, which will cover it, which is kind of what the intention is.
Where do you stand as far as getting the site plan in front of council?
I've been in communication with Alyssa. There's the only thing that I believe she said that we are able to do this, I think admin approval is what the term she used, but I'm not sure what that means on her end. But she is saying that because it's a simple change, that it should not need to go through the entire process.
Ernie, I guess that means it doesn't have to go in front of council?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to.
Well, an admin approval would be that the third department could approve it without going through council, I would assume.
The only thing that I just kind of wonder about on that,
Somebody's mic, yeah.
Is the fact that it was on the site plan, so I don't know whether it has to go back through city council for site plan approval. I will confirm
I
that.
think Doug wants to clarify.
Mr. Chairman, board members, I was informed by Greg Pauley, the Director of Community Development, that he felt that as long as the proposed fencing was equal to or greater, that it would be an administrative approved site plan, so that they wouldn't have to go before city council.
And let us inform, what does the administrative approved means? Doesn't it have to go in front of council?
Correct.
Okay,
Another question for Doug.
go ahead.
So based on their testimony, they're saying that they cleaned up all the slats. Have you been by there
by there.
Friday?
Had been by since Friday, but I didn't think to look for that, so I'll go by tomorrow morning if it's in
Okay.
compliance.
Okay.
And an affidavit of compliance for that one particular section of it.
Okay, so they're probably in compliance on the second one.
Making an
We're gonna assume that. Okay, thanks.
One at a time, hang on. Go ahead.
My understanding is, so some of the plastic fencing is up, but some of it is missing. Is the intention to replace those missing sections with the plastic fencing?
Along Temple Terrace?
Yeah.
Right, so right now, there is a section that is along homeowner lots, at the back of the homeowner lots. We've replaced those. At the rest of it is not, there's nothing there.
Right, the rest of it you intend to put up the aluminum?
Correct.
Okay.
So let me ask you this, assuming you get your approval that you're looking for,
Right.
how quickly can you get the rest of that fence replaced?
Should be fairly quickly, depending on the contractor's schedule. We've bid it out. I have copies of those bids as well. It's a matter of doing the special assessment because it is a community that just turned over. They are going through that audit, that turnover audit that takes place, which is pretty typical. And this is where D.R. Horton is basically trying to decide how much either the community owes or they owe the community. And at this point, that also leaves them with limited funds. So then, the next solution is either going to be a special assessment or something that's going to have to result with the assessment. So we would have to obtain that money to pay for it.
When do you anticipate the audit being complete?
I believe the audit is complete. It's just a matter of finalizing and signing a release with D.R. Horton.
Okay. Any other questions for the respondent?
Yeah, I guess one more.
Go ahead, Bill.
So you don't necessarily anticipate a problem with funding, getting the money from the community?
No, we've had town halls, Seifel has been can attest to that. We've had numerous town halls where the community has expressed their own want to do this. They want to have these fences put up as well, so I think that we'll get pretty quickly get that money in.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ron.
This is for our attorney. To me, this is sufficient. They cleaned up, but I know Doug did not go. But for tonight, I can see one violation that we can, I don't know.
Well, there's two until he gives it. Yeah, so what's going to have to happen is we'll rule on both of those tonight. And if they're correct in what they said, he'll issue a affidavit of compliance, thank you. An affidavit of compliance tomorrow or the next day, and that will go away, but you still have to rule on it.
Okay.
Can I mention one more thing?
Sure.
So one thing that I did notice on the notice of the hearing, and I do know that he did hang them on the actual fence, but you know, maybe this might be a question. So there's the address that's on this notice. Where would I update that? Because I'm not familiar with that, and that's probably a D.R. Horton address, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be a reason why we maybe didn't get it, or I didn't get it in the mail, maybe. But this address is not the office address for the management.
Well, I think it will update itself once the turnover is complete.
Okay.
And you're probably correct that they went to D.L. Horton because right now they're listed as the owner.
Right.
Yeah, so that will fix itself once the audit is complete and the turnover is complete.
Okay.
Okay? Right now, there's no way to correct that because right now they are still the legal owners.
Understood.
Okay?
One more question.
Go ahead, Ron.
How long do you think you can achieve this?
So we are in budget season at the moment. So we will be proposing a new budget fairly soon, within the next couple of weeks. That entails a meeting, an approval of that budget, and at that time is probably where we would be levying the special assessment. And at that will kind of, I don't know if, depending, I guess, on your ruling, is how we would dictate how long it would be to get these funds from the homeowners. So I don't know how long that process will take, but I'm pretty sure that with the companies that I've gotten bids from, we can make a deposit to at least get the job done and finish it off. Once the job is complete, be able to pay it later.
Any other questions?
I just want to add one more thing.
For the director?
One second.
One at a time. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm the board.
Name and address, please.
This is Saiful. I'm one of the residents at River Park. I'm the board president. So also the boundary it's shown in the front. We are also having conversation with the city. Where is the exact place that we can put the fence? Right now, the fence is not the existing fence. The previous fence was not on the perimeter. So because of that, some of our tree that was visible in the front, it was cut down by others. So we are also requesting to the city to give us permission to put the fence on the perimeter. So it's going to be our trees and our property is going to be safe. And we are also planning to put a aluminum face that are more air resistant and hurricane friendly. So it's going to be both beneficial for the homeowners in the long run.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead, Ron.
Our director.
Hang on. Let them sit down. Let him come up.
Or he can,
Are there any other questions for the respondent?
he can sit, he can stay.
For the director or for the code officer?
Director.
Okay. Okay, you have a seat next. Go ahead.
Do you see any problem with this site that would prevent us from giving them 60 days and then we'll see what?
I don't. They've been working very well with us so far.
Excellent, yeah.
I think so.
I noticed that from also, they're doing a lot of the work before even the time. So, hopefully if 60 days, we never really give more 90 days, as Brian said, but, I'm just trying to think about the time, and I don't think it's endangering anybody and also give them enough time for the hurricane season to be over too. So.
No, they've been working very well with us.
Excellent, thank you.
If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion. Anybody? Rod?
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
In case number 25-2930, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 7788 Rosewood Garden Loop with the applicable code violations 28.840 subsection E subsection 1 and section 11.1209. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received and from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, of which you received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before the date November 12, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violation committed by the violator. I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. So you have until November 12th to bring the property into compliance. If for any reason you can't bring the property in compliance by November 12th, you'll need to come back to here. At that time, you're welcome to ask for an extension. There are no guarantees that you will get an extension, but that's the time to ask for one.
Can I ask, is there a set schedule for these meetings? Would it be a monthly?
It'll be, yeah, we meet, the November 12th date that you've been given is a meeting night, okay? So,
Second Wednesday of every month.
but you have until November 12th, okay?
Appreciate it.
But if something comes up, and, your contractor falls through or something, that's the night to come see us. Okay? Thank you. Next case, please.
Case number 25-2829, City versus George Edwards, for the property located at 7509 Willow Park Drive. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-763, tree removal penalty. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Danielle Batt. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Officer Batt with Code Compliance. This case this evening was initiated by me on July 14th, 2025 in violation of City Code of Ordinance. The code section is 12-763 for the removal of laurel oak tree without first obtaining the required permit or approval. On July 16th, 2025, a irreversible notice of violation notice of hearing was created for today's hearing and posted to the subject property. Requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. Official copy of notice of hearing was created and on August 25th, 2025 and posted to the subject property. Requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. At this time, I'd like to submit evidence for case number 25-2829 supporting the case and refer any questions to the city arborist.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
You'll find in that packet Exhibit A is a copy of the notice of violation, notice of hearing with affidavit of posting and photos issued on July 16th, 2025, and Exhibit B is going to be a copy of the official notice of hearing with affidavit of posting and photos on August 28th, 2025.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Joe Fair, City Arborist. This first image that you see in front of you is from Google Streets. The highlight area is the canopy of the tree that was removed. The second image is taken similar angle. Oh, that's the, do you have the other one? Well, we can, no, that one. So that's the one you see, the little bit of canopy there, that's a neighboring tree. So what was there is now missing. The other image was the side yard. Sorry, not, there we go. The lot is on a corner lot, so this is taken from the opposite street. So this laurel oak was a complete topping, which we've had this before in front of us, which essentially is just a full removal of a tree. So the remainder of what's there will need to be removed, and I'm asking for them to replant another tree, another canopy tree, minimum 3-inch canopy, or a 3-inch caliper, so we're probably looking at like a 45-gallon tree. I don't know the size of it, because I haven't had the access to it back there to find out the DBH as far as any penalties go.
Okay. Any questions for Joe or the code officer? Go ahead, Rod.
This is require us to give a penalty for that? Or penalty?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Cut without a
it's an
permit.
irreversible.
Yeah.
Reversible,
Violation,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how did you figure out the canopy?
As far as the size of the tree, I don't know the size because I've not been able to get in. It's in someone's backyard, so I haven't had the permission to go back there to determine the DBH of the tree. So,
But your solution is a 45-gallon replacement?
yeah, as our code requires a 3-inch caliper, so it's probably going to be a 45-gallon container tree to get close to that size.
Okay.
And then the remainder of that should be removed, because again, once you do a topping, that's essentially removing the tree.
Any,
Yep.
any rough idea, what does a 45-gallon tree cost? I mean, rough ballpark number. I mean, what does the city, if the,
We usually do 15-gallon trees, so that's not, I'm not, I don't usually do that large of trees. But if we're gonna go by our code, it's a 3-inch caliper. And it's probably gonna be closer to 2.5 inch in a 45-gallon, but that's close. Cost, I really don't know. Not sure.
Any other questions? Is the respondent here? Has he been sworn in?
I'm not.
yes,
He has been, yes, he's been sworn in. Step up to the mic, please. Name and address.
George Edwards, 7509 Willow Park Drive, Terrace. Yeah, this tree, I'm guilty for not having a permit. Not for cutting this tree. I didn't cut the tree down. I had to cut the top out of the tree because the wind from the hurricane had blown the tree over into that backyard that you saw the picture of. And there are children back there. And for the sake of God, it fell over and it didn't hit any of the kids. They play in that yard back there. It's a huge limb from the tree that was damaged. It was blown over by the wind from the hurricanes. So I had to cut that tree up in order to get it out of there. When the guy came over to top the tree off, he told me, he showed me, because the tree had came together like that. And he said, this, when this limb was blown over, it damaged the other part of the limb. So that limb was going to fall over on the house. So that's the reason why this thing, I didn't cut the tree down. The tree's still growing, it's growing, got leaves growing out of it right now. But I did have to cut, and I would do it again to keep from killing any children or killing anybody. Thing was huge. So, and I, there's no one who loved plants and more than me. But yeah, when it comes to the life of somebody or a tree, then I have to opt for the tree. As I say, I didn't have a permit. I didn't know I needed one. And that's it. But, I don't know, you people have regulations, and okay, your regulations are fine, I'll go by them. But, don't ask me to choose between a tree and human beings, because the humans are going to win all the time with me.
Any questions for the respondent?
yeah, I have.
Go ahead.
So you're saying the tree had blown down, or
Yes,
a
yes.
branch fell off?
Well, the branch It was a huge branch. They were huge. And the wind from the hurricane blew it down. It blew it over in that backyard. He was showing you pictures of that yard. It blew it over there. So, I had to do the repairs, to my fence, his fence, but that was okay. And I removed that tree. But this other limb, it was going to fall. It wouldn't have lasted in another hurricane. I can't say that it would or it wouldn't, but chances of it going through another severe hurricane as we had, it wouldn't have made it. It would have fell over on a house. So, and there's people living in the house.
Okay.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Rod.
Do you agree with Mr. Ferris to remove this tree completely and replant one that maybe grows a little better, as the city mentioned?
The tree is growing now. I mean, it's
According
got
to-
6-foot leaves on it. I mean, it's
According
growing.
to science, this tree might not survive. And
Okay, you might be right.
yeah, I'm with you that sometimes saving the life of people is more important than the tree, and it happened, and that's why I questioned how do we know the canopy and all that. But I take your word that you removed it because the hurricane tipped it over. But
Yeah.
now you're responsible for not getting a permit, and I'm trying to see what we can, if you agree with Mr. Ferris to remove it and then replant the tree there.
Well, whatever you people decide, I mean, it's it's a creation that's not from any of us. But as I said, the existing tree is about 20 feet of it left, and there's a lot of foliage growing out of the tree. I don't know I don't know when the tree was planted or whatever, but I've lived there for about 20 years, and the house is 40 years old, 50 years old, something like that. But I have no idea. Whatever you people decide, that's it. I'm not going to argue with it because it was the tree and it was in my yard, and to me, I didn't have a choice. And if I would have known about a permit, I'd have came and got a permit, to come saw it off, whack it off. It cost me an arm and a leg to get that done. But whatever's decided here, I'm not arguing about anything.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, our arborist, Mr. Ferris, he could explain why what happened to the tree is a risk to the tree. But also, when you got someone to do this, did you verify they're licensed, insured, an arborist of any sort or any sort of qualifications?
Well, no, I didn't go that far. They had a huge company truck with a name on it. So, I didn't check any credentials. He had all the tools, and he seemed to know what he was doing. Because he mentioned the other part of the tree that that needs to be taken down, otherwise it's going to fall down. It's not going to stand. The other arm was cut off, so and it was it was rotting where he cut it at, and he showed me that, and so I assumed that was it was enough. I just didn't want to get nobody. I didn't want nobody getting hurt. And I didn't want to hurt myself, so.
Thank you, sir. You can have a seat. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
All right.
Bill,
I'll do this one.
thank you.
Get it started here. So, okay. In case number 25-2829, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 7509 Willow Park Drive. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Danielle Batt, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the violation is irreparable and irreversible as defined by City Code Section 1-63. Therefore, I move that a fine of, and I'm going to go with, since we don't know the size of the tree, it's not a live oak, I'm going to go with the minimum fine that we can go with for 24 inches, which is $1,200, be imposed for this violation. I further move that the respondent replace the improperly removed tree by planting one tree on or before, let's see. I guess we'll go with October 8th, 2025, 30 days. Upon considering if the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine for failing to plant the replacement tree by the deadline date be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I have a question.
No question,
I'll
Jeff.
second.
We have to, okay. We have a motion. We have a second.
We have,
Any further discussion?
Brian did a second.
oh, now the discussion.
Now we can,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
I just don't agree with the $1,200. I see the point if it was somebody intentionally went out and wanted to cut a tree to beautify his house. In this case, I see the gentleman try, first of all, it's hurricane damage. And I know he did not, believe me, a lot of people don't know that they need a permit to cut a tree. And it happened before. I hope people will hear us more and more and know that they need a permit. They need to bring Mr. Ferris to examine that tree. He could have probably, if it's diseased, if something, he could have just removed it. And it's going to be costly. That's why I'm seeing that the fine is too high. I was leaning towards 200, 250, just because we have to put a fine on this. I don't care about the canopy of the tree and how big it is, because it's not a typical situation of a tree. That's my opinion, and it's just I agree on everything he said.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but on the other side of that coin is, he talked about 2 limbs. He could have trimmed back those 2 limbs. He destroyed that tree.
Actually, he hired somebody who did not know what they're doing.
Well,
Yeah, so that's,
but
again,
he hired him.
Yeah, well, I know. So that's my opinion,
One
but,
at a time, hang on. I got you.
I'm not agreeing on the fine itself. I think it's big, because he's gonna end up removing this whole tree. It's gonna cost him probably more than that and then buy that 45-gallon, which is probably costly. So I'm trying to just balance this
thank you.
situation. Thank you.
Go ahead, next.
I question whether 30 days is reasonable, given the amount of time that it's going to take to remove the stump and plant the.
Well, they can always come back and ask for an extension.
That's fair.
Any other discussion? Go ahead.
Question, Bill, I noticed that you referred to that table there, is that a
Yeah.
guideline? Or-
Yeah, I guess, this was given out at the workshop that we
Okay, I
had.
missed that one.
And, maybe I need to, I guess I need to ask Joe Ferris as far as,
I don't know if it's a grand tree or not.
yeah, I kind of looked, I missed, it's a laurel oak.
The laurel oak, yes.
And it's, I don't know if it's a grand tree or,
There's no way for me to tell from the photos without being next to
Yeah.
the tree to measure them.
right, so, but, so it's either a grand tree or it's not. I mean, that's,
It'd be a non-grand tree.
Okay.
I mean, that's my guess. I mean, without
Okay.
being back there, I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's a grand. I would say it's probably under that, but it just kind of,
there's no way to guess the diameter.
yeah, not without getting back there. But from the images, it doesn't appear to be a grand.
Okay. Yeah, so I need to revise that for the fine,
If
for
you want
sure.
to, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Okay.
it's not a grand tree, so.
Okay, go.
And I looked at the wrong chart.
Revise your motion.
Looked at the wrong chart. So, without knowing what the size of the tree is, it looked like it could be, it was a fairly sizable tree, so I'm gonna guess and say it's at least 12 inches, so I'm gonna revise my fine to be $300.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a revision. Whoever seconded the first motion
I'll re-second that.
is now re-second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So, sir, you've been fined $300, and you have to plant a 45-gallon tree in the place of that tree after you get that tree removed. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. If for any reason you can't have all of that done by October 8th, you can come back here on that evening, and we'll be meeting again, and you can ask for an extension. There is no guarantee you will receive an extension, but you can ask, okay? Next case, please.
Case number 25-2828, City versus Kenneth D. Williams and Linda Darlene Williams for the property located at 7616 North Sanibel Circle. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-768.
You guys can have a seat. We'll call you up when we're ready. Thank
Tree
you.
removal regulations. This case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Danielle Batt. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, I'm Officer Batt with Code Compliance. This case this evening was initiated by me on July 14th, 2025, in violation of the city's Code of Ordinance. The code section is 12-768 for the trimming of a live oak tree in areas exceeding 10 inches in diameter without first obtaining the required permit or approval. On July 16th, 2025, a irreparable, irreversible notice of violation, notice of hearing was created for today's hearing and posted to the subject property, requested posting to the City Hall and electronic board, and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. Official copy of the notice of hearing was created and on August 25th, 2025, and posted to the subject property, requested posted in City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement, and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. At this time, I'd like to submit evidence for case number 25-2828, supporting the case and refer any further questions to the city arborist.
We'll accept that. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Exhibit A is going to be a copy of the notice of violation, notice of hearing with affidavit of service and photos issued on July 16th, 2025. Exhibit B is going to be official notice of hearing with affidavit of posting and photos on August 28th, 2025.
So I do have a question,
Hang
actually.
on a second. You have a question for the code officer?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I noticed that it's a slightly different violation, and this is tree removal regulations, and that's more, this involves like taking a branch off?
They actually took the entire top off, and
Oh,
the city's arborist will be able to explain it further in detail.
okay. Okay, thanks.
Good evening, Joe Ferris, City Arborist.
Go ahead.
So as you can see in the photos, it's another topping of the trees. So I have two of them completely topped. So again, remainder of the tree should be removed and replanting of each tree. In this situation, as the previous one, and again, a reminder on topping, that's essentially, as I said, removing the tree is not going to come back. You will get some greens that will come out of there. That's the water sprouts, or what they call suckers. It's just from the tree stressing itself, or being stressed out from the entire canopy being removed. Eventually, what's left will eventually rot and fall.
Okay, is there a significant difference between section 12-763 and 12-768?
Can I say,
I'd have to refer to Ernie on that one.
I have it right here.
Okay, let Ernie find it.
Twelve dash 768, which is what's been cited here, is the requirement for a permit. And basically says no protected tree shall be removed without first obtaining a permit from the city.
Did we determine whether this is protected or a grand?
Protected, but I'm not sure on the size, so I
So we'd be
would
going again with.
probably, and looking at that image, I don't think it's quite either one of them are grand size.
The 12-763 is the need to replace, is the replacement violation.
But 768 this doesn't require replacement?
Yeah, I'm not sure,
So,
the notice of violation on this one, were they both cited, they just didn't get on the agenda?
Could be a typo.
Not on mine.
Exhibit get all the way around, or was it?
No.
Oh, here it is.
let me see.
Looks like a typo.
I only see the one notice on it.
The 3.
Yeah, for,
Looks like 12768 was the only violation cited.
the no permits, we did not see the site for the, replacement.
So,
Yeah.
so what does that mean?
Well, it means right now we can't find them in violation of failing to replace the tree because they haven't been cited for it. That doesn't mean we can't bring that violation up law,
Yeah.
unless the property owner has to deal with it all tonight. But, and we just pass on it. Otherwise, we would be citing them.
But we wouldn't be allowed to make that requirement, really, would we?
Yeah.
Tonight, you mean?
Yeah.
Correct, unless they.
Unless they volunteer.
consent the sale.
Okay.
But, otherwise.
Because the remedy is to get a permit, which they can't do because it's irreplaceable or irrevocable. Go ahead.
The reason being it was brought under that code section was the simple fact that in the very beginning, we didn't have full access to see the trees actually cut to the extent they were.
Okay.
And that's at the same time as we were creating the notice of irreparable, irreplaceable. Based on, we could only see very minimal at the top
Right.
from the roadways. Where
There's no way for them to get a permit because you can't get a permit for what you already did.
And upon my first inspection and dropping off that notice of violation, notice of hearing, he actually met with me and was gracious enough to walk me to his backyard where I was
Okay.
able to access it.
Okay.
And I mean, on this, we can advise them that they will need to replace, otherwise they will be hit with the violation.
Another violation, yeah. And what would they need to replace it with?
2 3-inch
2, 3,
caliper
2?
trees.
Okay, just like the last one with 2?
Yeah, just like the last one.
Okay, because 2 trees are involved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or would it be better to postpone this until the city,
Do it all at once.
now that they have all this stuff, all the information to,
I think, let's hear from the respondent, then we'll make a decision.
okay.
I'm a little confused on this.
Well, we'll try to straighten it out for you.
I wasn't sworn in either, if I need to be sworn in.
You weren't sworn in? Okay.
No, he wasn't.
Hang on.
Anybody else that needs to be sworn in before we're doing it? Might as well stand
You can raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you will provide the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
What case are you here for?
Okay.
Okay. Floor is yours, sir.
No, well, I'm just, let me see how I can start. I had to cut the tree, the limb off the tree, cause I done did limbs from off my house a few times, every time we have a storm. So on the last storm, the trees fell on my patio and my fence, and messed up my patio and my fence. So when the storm, the last storm that was coming through, and I'm looking at the trees and looking at the limbs, I'm like, no, this thing, I need to cut this back because it's going to fall back on the house. So I end up getting got this Albert and Ellis tree trimming, had them come over and they check it out. But I knew that you had to have a permit. They had a tree cut down. I never knew anything about having a permit to trim the leaves, the limbs off. So I got, like I said, some pictures here from where the trees fell on my patio and on my fence from the storm before. So that's all I was just trying to just cut the limbs back from falling on the house.
Did you want to submit those pictures into evidence?
Yes, excuse me, throat. I just got out the hospital. Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it. Like I say, they said I had to have a permit to cut
While they're
trees
looking at the
down.
pictures,
I
are
said,
any
I'm good
questions
with
for the
that, but
respondent?
They said about the limbs.
So when you say the tree fell on your pool or
On my patio.
okay.
The
You meant
big, one of the big limbs fell off.
You mean the limbs, right?
Yeah, one of the limbs fell off here on my patio. The other one fell on my fence. So that's why when I seen the storm and I'm looking at the limbs and stuff, I said I need to get these cut down before hurricane season start again, cause I can see that coming down. And like I said, I got the people to do it. They ain't said nothing about this diameter of the tree limb, how far it got to be cut. Only thing I know is I had to get permission if I wanted to cut the tree all the way down. Nothing about cutting the limb off. They didn't tell me nothing about cutting the limb.
And it didn't occur to you that you might cutting the major limbs like that off would probably kill the tree, right?
No, I had no idea. Excuse me.
Do we want to discuss this?
Any other questions for the respondent? You can have a seat, sir. Thank you. So let me just explain to you what's going on. So if you, did you want to say something, Ernie?
Well, I'll wait, let me do this first. Let me
Okay,
ask
that's
you
fine.
A couple of questions that might help you out as you look at
Okay.
these photographs.
Mr. Ferris, as you saw the photographs, would you still, if you had been called out, would you have still required a permit to remove the tree?
Yes, a permit for the tree and the full removal of the tree. But that's after looking at those photos. Had I been called out at the time to see that, then based on those photos, yes, because it probably would have left the tree off balanced. Based on, there's one particular photo in there, the large limb, and you've got all these off on a different angle. I would have approved for the removal, but it would have been the whole tree, not just cutting back what was there.
And a permit would have.
And a
still
permit
been-
would have been required.
You would have based on the picture you just saw, you would have said, yes, you can have a permit to remove the tree.
Yeah, and it would have had to been the whole tree
Right.
removed.
Now, if they obtained a permit to remove the tree, would they still have to do a replacement?
That probably not. I mean, it's damaged, so it's not, I don't ask for replacement on damages.
Okay.
I mean, I offer that we have the program for trees if you would like a new tree, so I would have done
You would have
that.
given them a permit
Yeah.
to remove the tree, not to trim it the way it was been trimmed.
Yeah.
But you would not have made a requirement to replace it with two 45-gallon
No,
replacement trees.
correct.
So I
Hang on, sir. Go ahead, Bill.
thought there were two trees
They are.
involved, and both of them you were in the same.
Yeah, when I see those pictures there's quite a bit of damage from the storm. And again, you have large limbs come off on one side of the tree, it's gonna off balance it. And then depending on where that off balance is it a threat to the structure? Is it a threat to a neighbor's structure? So had I been out there, more than likely I would have said, yes, you could get approval, permit would be required. I wouldn't have required the mitigation, I would have offered trees if they would like new trees.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it applied to both.
Hang on, sir.
It applied to both trees.
Go ahead, Rod.
Just for Ferris, before he sits down. So in this case, Ferris, he tried just to clean up his yard and prevent anything. So in my opinion too, also what we see, it should not be any fine because that was not illegal or reversible or, you know.
Well,
there's
that's
still-
up to you all to decide on that fine.
Well, they're still, they didn't get a permit.
Yeah, well, we're
get a
gonna,
permit, right.
can they get a permit after the fact?
No, it's,
Not for trees.
Okay.
no, it's, that's why it's irreversible.
Yeah, okay.
But
Okay.
again, it looks like just now.
There was no need for a replacement, yeah, yeah, right. Understood. So, sir, you want to say something?
Yeah, cause I had this, other guy, tree service, and they called whoever that's in charge of, about the trees. And I called, they had a tree, I asked them, could I have the tree cut down? And they said, no, you can't cut the tree down. So now they tell me I couldn't cut the tree down. Now you telling me I can cut the tree down. So which one is it? Because they called and said, well, I checked with the Terrace people, and they said you can't have these trees cut down.
Well, you can't, not without a permit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that was for the permit. That's what the people call for the permit to cut the tree down. He said, no, they won't give you a permit to cut the tree down. I have to look at my Simon, I think it is, the people that they had called, cause they ain't good. They know them or whoever it is, but they said they wouldn't give me a permit. They had old trees cut down. I said these trees over here, then I'd had them cut back from my house. Now I had them fall in my house, and I said I wanted the permit to get them cut down, but they said no. So I said, all right, we'll cut the limbs down. Cut the limbs. I spent $3,500 just on cutting back the limbs off from around the house, and this like the third or fourth time I done had the limbs cut off around my house. But like I said, the other people called them and they said, no, we won't give you a permit to have those trees removed.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Anybody? Brian?
I want to get my thoughts together quick.
Yes?
Possibly. Can I see the thing again? The matrix?
The matrix, yeah.
Let me get his.
No, sorry.
If I may,
Hang on. Let's get the motion first.
well, what I wanted to point out is that the particular violation is failure to get a permit.
Right. Oh, okay.
So that's why I don't believe what you're referring to is relevant.
No, it's still irreversible. He can't get a permit now because he's already done.
Right.
But the violation was only for failure to get a permit, not for cutting down the.
That's why I had the question about, should we postpone this until the city kind of has their.
Well, we know there's no replacement requirement now.
Right.
But it's not, it's still a tree case and it's still a tree permit. So it's not like you didn't get a building permit, you didn't get a tree permit.
If I can, I think what's being missed here is, even though he didn't remove the tree completely by cutting every limb off, he effectively removed the tree.
Yeah,
chopped it.
right,
So he, in essence, removed the tree without a permit.
right.
So the matrix deals with what the penalty would be for the removal of a tree
Right.
without a permit.
But doesn't it matter that the only violation he received was failure to receive a permit?
For removing the tree. No tree can be removed without a permit.
Because technically, well, this might be a question for Mr. Ferris. Sorry. Would the city still like these trees to be entirely removed? Or are they healthy enough to where they could come back?
I mean, you can leave them, they're not gonna come back. I can guarantee you that right now. They're not gonna come back. They're not gonna grow new limbs. They'll shoot out water sprouts or suckers. Where they're cut, we've had this, again, if this is the limb and this is a tree, you cut it where it attaches, it'll heal. You cut at the knuckle, it'll never heal. Eventually those limbs will rot. Eventually you'll end up taking them down if they don't just fall and rot on their own.
Okay.
And again, going back to tree topping is essentially full removal of a tree. You've removed the tree.
And is there any, from what you understand, any risk to property or people from where the trees are in relation to the?
I wasn't back there to see that, but based on those images, it looks like it may be just his home, depending on when it eventually rots.
Okay.
Where it falls.
Yeah.
Then when I was telling you, this the people of Salvador Tree Service, they the one that called the Terrace people. They had them check it out, and they said, no, we won't give you a permit.
Okay.
A permit, they had those trees cut down.
Thank you.
So I just had a question for Ernie. He said,
Go ahead.
hey, Ernie, I just had a question. So the confusion for me is that Joe is saying that the trees would not be, that he would have said, I'll give them a permit if they cut the tree. So I'm just missing the irreversible, irreconcilable part. I don't understand.
They already did it.
But he would have given them a permit anyway. That's what he just testified, that he would have given them a permit to cut the trees down anyway. So
So
how are we?
They were being cited for failure to get a permit.
Permit, that's what so if it's a permit, then it simplifies the whole, to me, it's not, it's not irreconcilable and irreversible. I mean, it is, but it's not. Because he would have given him a building permit.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. In fact, Mr. Ferris and I have been having discussions along those lines in this situation. What the difference would be is you could give them time to get the permit, with and instead of it being, just a fine, one-time fine up to whatever, you can give it, in this case, you could, and I think that maybe that's the point I'm trying to make that I wasn't catching, is that, they, in this case, instead of it being like a one-time fine, you can do the daily fine instead for them to get the permit that was necessary.
Yeah, we could give them the 30 days to get a permit and then do it.
And a daily fine if they don't.
Can they get, but we just heard they can't get a retroactive permit.
Wait, can I ask a question? What's
I
the
don't-
cost of a tree permit?
$65.50.
But they still need to get a permit, and they still need to get, and in Joe's opinion, those trees need to come down because they're gonna die.
Yes, based again on those photos, that I would have approved that with the permit, with the full removal of the tree.
Right.
Just cutting off the rest of the limbs is not gonna, the rest of the tree just needs to come.
So had they gotten a permit, they would not have complied with the permit because they didn't take the trees out. They killed them.
Right.
Now, to remove the trees,
They said, okay. from the
They
get-go.
said no. They said no not to.
I understand. You told us that. I understand that.
So how is he gonna approve to remove it?
The only thing there is I don't understand.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't know who you would have talked to, because you didn't have that conversation, tree cutting service.
so it's hearsay.
They told you they had that. And what they're saying really doesn't make any sense, because had they called, Joe would have come out before any decision would have been made. That is why I'm a little, find that a little
He called,
skeptical.
Salvador, he called them, and I think he talked to his dog, somebody named Joe.
To have the trees removed from now, like from where we're at, would they need a permit to do that too?
Yeah.
So they would need a new permit.
Well, they would need to get a permit. They essentially, the trees need to come down.
Correct.
And they need a permit to do that.
Well, actually, I think Joe said technically they don't need to.
Because they're removed at this point.
Well, that's a different conversation. In their current state, they don't need to come down, but.
They will eventually.
Will eventually, but right now, they're not by code required to come down.
We had a previous case just like that where we left it in place and the guy was gonna do some carving on it or something, some decorative.
Make a bear out of it.
Hang on, okay.
Totem pole.
Let's get back to business here.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to make a suggestion based on those photos and like I said, if the situation had been that I'd seen those, I would have said remove that. So I'd like to make the suggestion, we ask them to get a permit and they remove the remainder of the trees. And then we're done. There wouldn't,
Because you just said they don't have to be removed right now.
$3,500 tonight.
Isn't that what was just stated? You
I-
said they didn't have to be removed
I said
right
the
now.
trees aren't gonna survive.
Right.
You cut completely top the tree,
Right.
the
Right.
trees will not survive.
Right.
They will die.
Right. I
So you're
understand.
gonna end up having to remove them to begin with.
Right.
If it had been at the time that I was called out there and then I looked at them and I said, yes, they could come down, it would have been all of the tree, not just topping them.
Correct.
Because topping is the only tree type cutting that is prohibited by our code. Just, it's not allowed at all. So what I'm offering is that you get the permit to remove the rest of the tree, as opposed to them coming up with a fine for the irreversible, irreplaceable. Because when you do that, the tree isn't coming back, so it's irreversible, irreplaceable.
But I thought right now, correct me if I'm wrong, that we were looking at us being possibly fined for not getting a permit prior to cutting the tree.
Yes.
Isn't that what we were talking about?
Yes, and
So,
now I'm
you just
making
stood
an,
there
and I'm making,
previously and stated that it did not, yes, it's not gonna come back, because of how far down it was cut, but it did not need to be removed as of right now, this very day.
No.
So now we're gonna go forward and say it has to be removed?
no, I said it needs to be removed.
It needs, but it didn't have to.
It
That's
needs
what
to-
I'm just asking.
It needs to be removed. That's,
So
Okay,
now it needs
we're not gonna go back and forth here. The gist of this is, you should not have done what you did without a permit, okay? So now it's an irreversible violation, okay, because you killed the trees, okay? And what he is suggesting is, which he's actually doing you a favor, you don't realize it yet because you haven't seen what the fine might be, is that rather than impose a fine, okay, he's asking us to say, you have to go get the permit and take the trees down. Otherwise, you would be fined and you still have to take the trees down. So,
Well, and at the end of the day, the other problem is we probably should have cited it as a 12-771, which says topping of any tree is prohibited, which would be irreparable and irreversible.
well, either way, it's
So we're
irreparable.
given, yeah, I mean, the
So-
point is
so what they're
we're offering
suggesting
them a
is
good
to
opportunity
your
here.
favor.
What's that?
What we're suggesting is to their favor.
What Joe has suggested is doing you a favor. Now, this board hasn't made a motion yet, so anything can happen. But what Joe has suggested is doing you a favor, okay? Because the alternative is a fine, and you end up having to take the trees down anyway. No, we're done, we're done. There's no more discussion. No, you can ask him after the meeting.
Because we're the ones having to pay. You get what
I understand.
I'm saying? So I feel like we should make sure we understand before we walk out of here tonight with clarity. That's all, that's all I'm saying.
Now, what you're looking at is 2 trees?
yeah, it's one permit for those 2 trees, $65.50 is the cost. If that's not what you want to do, then they're going to put a fine, that could be $200, $300 per
Yeah.
tree. So I'm offering you the $65 to get the permit, to remove the remainder of the trees. I'm not asking you to replant anything, because they were damaged from the debris that I saw in the photos. So that's the option right now. So, I mean, $65.50 would be probably your best route.
Okay.
Thank you for clarity.
Any other
That's all
questions?
we were asking
Oh, you're
from the
welcome.
beginning.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry,
I
it
appreciate
was-
that. No,
yeah, it's a
okay.
lot- there's a lot of
It's because
moving
when the money's
parts,
coming
yeah.
from our pocket, we want clarity
I
and feel that
totally
we
understand.
are owed
Yes.
that.
Any other questions?
You're welcome.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Brian?
Yeah, in case number 25-2828, I move the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 7616 North Sanibel Circle. Applicable code sections 12-768. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officers, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the violation is irreparable and irreversible, as defined by City Code Section 1-63. Therefore, I move a fine of $65.50 be imposed.
Well, it's not a fine. It's-
The cost of the permit.
no, because they still gotta get a permit. So the motion should read,
So no fine.
no fine, but they have to get
Require a permit. Okay. So let
and
me-
remove the trees.
I further move that, let me fix that. I further move that the violation is irreparable and irreversible as defined by City Code Section 1-63. Therefore, I move no fine be imposed, however, you must get a permit to remove the trees and then remove the remainder of the trees. I further move that the respondent that one is not.
No replacement.
No replacement, sorry. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day that they are ordered to pay for the violation, upon considering the following, well, actually, none of that applies to this. So I would say all of this should be done, because we're looking for the deadline date of, we'll say 60 days. November 12th of 2025.
Okay. Does everybody understand the motion?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
I think, yeah, that was a,
Did you, I'll explain it to you in a minute, okay? So we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Right, one at a time, starting at this end. Any, Rod?
I like this motion because it's really fair. However, I would like him to also understand, not also because the trees are good, the city gives away free trees. If he wants to remove them,
Yeah, we'll get to
then,
that.
you know,
We'll get to that.
just replant.
Anything else to say?
should there be a fine if it's not done?
Yes.
So I would need to amend my motion.
I wouldn't think so.
No, because they have to have it done, so if they don't have it done,
Then they come back and then we fine them,
oh, okay.
right?
Or we can just put the fine on and then we're done.
Well, you don't know what the fine is.
Well, that's, I would have to amend
No,
my
you could-
motion.
I mean, there's a couple, hang on a second. There's a couple ways that could be done, and Ernie's gonna educate us, I guess.
Well, I'm not going to educate, I'm going to make a suggestion, the same suggestion, in light of how, we're asking them to get the permit.
Right.
I'm suggesting we continue this case a month. If they can get the permit within the next month, and cut the remainder of the tree, we'll just dismiss the case because of what we found out tonight, rather than trying to enter kind of an order that seems a bit complicated. I'd rather try, because again, I'd like to give them the opportunity to go ahead and get the permit in the next month, pay the $65.60 to get them both. There's no need for replacement, but they do need to cut the remainder of the tree. If they do that, then we'll,
That's fine, we can do that, but just for their education, when they obtain the permit, is there a time period in which the work must be done
6 months.
in accordance with the permit? Well, that's a building permit, I don't know if the
building
tree,
permit.
I don't know if the tree permit's the same.
do you think you can cut the remainder of the tree within 30 days?
Joe's gonna.
Joe? Hang on a second, Ernie.
Tree
Think-
permits are the same as any other building permit.
So you have 6 months?
Yeah, it's good
Okay.
for 6 months.
All right,
Actually better off.
yeah, okay, so that's fine. So the option that Ernie suggested was to postpone this case for a date certain, or it wouldn't be postponing it, it would be continuing this case to a date certain in order to give them time to get the permit.
I can
So-
amend that.
So
Okay.
you want to amend your
we go.
motion? I'll explain it all to you in a minute, I promise.
I will amend my motion for case number 25-2828. We will continue this case until our next meeting, which would be October 8th, in which time you must obtain the permit to remove the trees,
Right,
and that's it.
that's it. Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. So here's what's happened. We have basically postponed your case. Nothing happened tonight, okay? That gives you until October 8th to get the tree permit, okay? The tree permit gives you 6 months to take the trees down, okay? If you don't take the trees down within 6 months, there will be a new violation, okay? So you have 30 days to get the permit, $65 for the permit. You have 6 months after you get the permit to take the trees down, okay? That should be plenty of time, okay?
No other fines are.
And there's nothing in the permit that says you have to take them both, yeah, and there's nothing in the permit that says you have to take them both down at the same time, okay? And you can do it yourself, or you can get somebody else to do it. I don't suggest doing it yourself, it's a big tree.
Right, yeah.
But however you want to get it done, okay? Any questions for me?
No, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Don't forget, the city gives away free trees.
Yeah,
Thank you for.
Have a good night, thanks for coming in. Next case, please.
done with trees.
All right, that was cute.
So our next case, guys, is going to be 253057.
That was a fun one.
Case number 253057, City versus Toro Jenkins and Tara Jenkins for the property located at 1315 North River Hills Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-763, tree removal penalty. This case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by a citizen concerned on July 29th, 2025 for the removal of a 20-inch diameter breast height oak tree without the appropriate city approval. On July 29th, 2025, the city arborist Joe Ferris and I met at the site and observed that the tree had been removed. I went directly to a notice of violation and notice of hearing for irreparable, irreversible violation. I posted the notice at the front door, and a copy was posted on the electronic board at City Hall for 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the owner of record. The case was scheduled for the September Municipal Code Board hearing. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on July 29th and August 27th, 2025.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
I passed everything down.
That's a total removal.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation, notice of hearing, irrevocable, irreplaceable posting, and exhibit number 2 shows the remainder of the 20-inch oak tree. And Mr. Ferris isn't here to answer any questions.
Oh, you just stepped down.
I'm sorry.
This is,
Hang on a second. Any questions for the code officer?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bill.
Are we talking about one tree?
Oh, wait, one at a time. Bill, go ahead.
Do you happen to know what type of tree it was? What type of oak tree?
But when we got there, all we saw was the stump.
Joe may know, yeah.
Okay, you had a question.
Well, I see two stumps in the foreground, but I also see some stumps in the background. So how many trees are we talking about?
One. The one in the front.
The one where the water bottle is.
Just the one,
Just the one where the water bottle is.
even though there's two stumps there?
Yeah, it's one tree. One root system.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Rod.
This was no permit applied for this removal.
Correct.
And I noticed something, it's so close to is this a house, this wall right here? Is this a house or is it a fence?
Yep, no, it's a house.
So the actual house is actually,
Screwed.
it's about, what, 3 feet away?
No.
No, it's about 10
Maybe
feet.
6.
6?
It's like about 5 to 10 feet away.
Yeah, just, that's what my question is, if it's too close to the house, I think.
It doesn't matter. It ain't-
Yeah, I know, it's,
it's not pertinent to the discussion. Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Did you guys want to approach? Here you go.
What about?
Oh, Joe, I'm sorry, Joe. You stepped out, so we forgot about you.
Joe Ferris, City Arborist.
Okay.
So when Doug and I were called out there, the trunk was still there, by the base of the bark, it was a laurel oak. And after talking to the owner, if you can see, there's this depression there in the yard.
Yeah.
So that erodes even wider right down to the river. So, again, he didn't call to get approval for the permit. After seeing that yard and where that tree was located, it would have been one of those that, yes, permit would be approved, or it would have been approved for removal and permit due to his erosion. We had a long conversation. He's in the process of having a contractor for seawall
Yeah.
installed, so it's going through all the permitting process through the Port Authority that controls the river for review before it comes to the city for permitting. Because he has a major issue with that the image doesn't really quite show how drastic he's had erosion.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, weren't the other two trees storm related?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So those two that you see in the background were from Milton that had to come down due to Milton. This one being closer to that erosion and issues going on, it would have, because he's losing a lot of yard right now.
Had they called, you would have given them a permit.
Yeah, so it's essentially, it was the lack of the permit,
Right, okay.
so. Similar situations.
Yep, gotcha. Well, except that they actually did take the tree down.
Yeah.
Okay. Name and address, please?
My name is Taro Jenkins.
Tara Jenkins.
We live at 1315 North River Hills Drive in Temple Terrace, Florida. So what I'd like to provide, if we could, is a couple pictures that we took of some of the damage from Hurricane Milton. Basically, Hurricane Milton came and ravaged the entire backyard. Not only did it knock down trees onto our property as well as to our neighbor's property, which were some of our trees, but it also caused some of the trees that were still there to basically be stumps, dead stumps there. The reason why this tree was actually removed, or what even, the only reason why we removed the tree in the first place, is because we had a storm like a couple weeks in a row, and this tree was literally leaning over. And what I'll show you next is a couple pictures that we took. And as you can see, the tree is completely dead. It was really just basically a stump left. The reason why we did not call is because I was not quite aware. I knew that there was grace given to trees that were injured as a result of the hurricane, which this tree was. I didn't know I needed to call for that particular reason. As the gentleman mentioned before, we bought the house about 2 years ago. We suffered a whole lot of erosion to our land. We needed a seawall, which is one of the reasons why we took a look, because there's no way in the world a tree could even be supported there, because there's nothing there to support the roots. So we were totally ignorant. We did not know. This is my first time living in Temple Terrace. I'm from Chicago. So a lot of the rules in Temple Terrace, I plead ignorance to. We didn't intentionally do it. And also we did things based upon our budget. So, when we could take down trees, when Milton came originally, we took down as many as we could. This was still a stump, and as the gentleman mentioned, the stump is actually 3 feet away from our house. It's not 10 feet away. There's a brick pathway there, and then this tree is sitting there, a stump that's blowing, basically ready to fall. In the front of our house, there are a couple other trees that we haven't had the chance to get to yet. One of them, limbs fell down, busted my son's windshield, and we've had that experience. And so, while the gentlemen were there to kind of take a look to see what needed to be done in order for us to build a seawall, we looked at the tree and I said, hey, we may as well go ahead and cut the stump down, right, or cut what was left of the tree down, because there was no tree, there was no canopy, there was none of that. It was just a dead
stump
that was standing up
when we moved there. So there was no tree on that tree. It was just a stump, a higher stump though. So there's no limbs that was growing out of this tree. This particular tree was probably about this high, and it was corroded, and there's a pecker. We have a woodpecker on it that pecks it. So it was completely had a hole all the way through it from the pecker pecking on it consistently. So you could literally see through the stump, but there's still no tree. Where you were saying how you cut the canopy off, there was never a canopy to begin with. This was just a stump, a high stump. There was never a tree coming out of it. And there's a pecker that pecked at it and put an entire hole through the tree that you can see left. So the part that was took off, when the rest of the trees that fell would have just been this much, because there was never a tree to begin with. So that's what I'm saying. We didn't have a canopy. There were no leaves on that actual stump. It was only, I guess you wouldn't consider it a stump. I'm not sure what it was
tall.
called.
It was
but no leaves or anything on it. It was just a stump.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the respondent? Go ahead, Bill.
And you're referring to the tree that was, the stump that was in the picture that we saw, right? That's the one. That's the one, yeah.
I don't think you saw it. The tree that I just showed, the one that was dead, that was literally the part that you see that was exposed where the rotten piece was, that was the top of it. So the whole thing was dead on the inside. It was literally this tall.
But the one that was, the picture that we saw first before your.
No, sir, that was just example of all of the damage that we saw from trees from Hurricane Milton. So basically the entire backyard was ravaged.
Yeah.
That's when I make sure we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, because I'm a little confused on
so
which.
The stump that we're looking at where that water bottle is,
Yeah.
what,
The pictures that I showed you of the
This one here is.
tree
right
with,
there, yeah.
right. So the pictures that I sent for your viewing, that showed the actually where you can see a tree that was damaged. The tree that you saw also was falling down already. That was not this tree. That was a tree that was actually right there that you can't see, that busted up the fence.
well, you're here because of the tree where the water bottle is.
And this is the tree that I showed you, that I also sent pictures of, that was this here.
I can't.
That's that tree.
That's that tree that was there. That's the part of the tree that was still there after the storm that we cut down. So there was no tree with a canopy that was up there. That was just a damaged stump that was
Yes.
left over after the
Talking
storm.
about that tree.
That tree.
Right, yes, sir.
It never was a tree with leaves on it.
Okay.
It was only a damaged stump, so it was just this high. So there was no leaves, or that's what we're saying, that it was not a canopy or anything that we cut because it was never there when we moved in.
Right.
So when we cut, we did cut through where, like he said, where it damaged and fell, but there was never a tree growing there. It was only a stump. It was just a high stump.
Gotcha, okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Can I just get some clarification on it? Because we got what looks to be like a trunks coming up. Both of them like that, or just one of them?
One of them was already gone.
Yeah.
The one that the gentleman was referring to was the fresh cut. That's the one that we cut down, which was the stump that was.
Okay, well, let's, okay, so you've got a bigger diameter.
That's the one, right? Yeah. So so basically, it started here big, then it went up here. It was a really narrow tree, and by the time we cut it down, it was here. That's the top of the piece that you see that's rotted out.
Okay, and what about the smaller diameter thing? What was the state of that? The one right by the water bottle?
The one with the water bottle on it.
Yeah, we're looking at.
Is that in my picture or your picture?
The one up there. See where the water bottle is?
Oh yeah, that piece was cut down like I don't know, a while ago. So it looks fresh. I don't know why it looks fresh. It's not fresh. The one that was fresh is the one that you see.
Okay. Go ahead.
Was it a whole tree or was that a stump as well? Like a tall stump?
It was probably a stump. If I remember correctly, it was a stump next to it. It wasn't a big tree. There was never a tree in that area that was
never.
Standing up and
Yes.
and had a canopy,
We knew it was
anything
gonna fall
like that.
anyway, because you could see straight through it. The pecker, he come every morning, he got pecked through it, and you could see straight through the tree. I mean, it was nice.
We're not laughing at it, it's just funny that.
Yeah.
And we were educated, I must say, when the gentleman came out. There is a tree that would hinder us from being able, and I appreciate him from coming out, because there's a tree that would hinder us from being able to build a seawall. And the gentleman did mention to us that we need to go and get a permit, and I appreciate that, because I definitely don't want to be back here again. But my point in saying that is, this particular tree that we did take down was not a tree with a canopy. That's why I didn't necessarily even think I needed a permit for it in the first place.
Understood. So, Joe, if you wouldn't mind coming on back up, you can have a seat, thank you. So, in light of the recent testimony, did you see any evidence that there actually was a tree growing there?
No, it was already removed, so there was just pieces of.
You have no way to corroborate what they've said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, unfortunately. Had I seen it, that would have been probably one of those that would not have to have a permit for removal. But just as a reminder, if there's anyone watching tonight, always call, regardless of the condition.
I
So long,
will.
yeah. Just
Won't do that
a
twice, right?
reminder, I mean, always call, let me at least see the tree, note it, document it, and then I can make that call if it's something that's not needed.
Let me ask you, do you have any pictures of the stump with the woodpecker hole in it before you cut it down?
I do not. What you see is the top of the tree that was left over, which is rotted out.
Okay.
I would imagine that he was eating in the stump, in that hole, which is why it has a hole there, because.
Okay, but you don't have any pictures of the
No, sir, I didn't. I
woodpecker?
didn't take
Okay.
pictures of the tree prior.
That would
Just took pictures once we-
have sealed the deal.
I was gonna say, could we like Google?
So just another added on the woodpecker thing with the tree. They'll peck at trees. They won't go all the way through unless that tree is already diseased. They're like insects in a lot of trees. They don't get into the trees unless, it's already in decline.
Said it was the whole way through the whole thing.
Yeah, because the woodpecker went through it.
But if
so
we had a
it was-
picture, that would seal the deal.
Yeah, that would have. But the fact that a woodpecker was able to peck all the way through it is indication that tree was probably rotting that was there.
So,
There was another gentleman that came out the next week. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah, if you're gonna speak,
I'm sorry.
Name and
There was
address,
another
ma'am.
Gentleman that came
name
out.
and address.
13, Tara Jenkins, 1315 North River Hills. I believe his name is Dallas. He came back out with another call, and when he came back there, he found no findings. He went through everything, and I was back there with him an hour. I showed him everything. We have quite a few eroded trees on there, and he basically said that if we don't, get a permit and get rid of them, literally the way our property is standing, we are literally going to be slid into the water, and without getting a seawall. And he showed me all the trees in the area in front of our house that is corroded. Also, I just want to ask one question, because with with the last gentleman with the tree, we were not under the impression that you couldn't cut leaves. So we have a tree that's directly on River Hills. It's growing into the street. It grows all the way out into the street and come down, which can damage cars. Well, we've been having it upkept every 2 to 3 weeks, but I want to make sure that that is even okay, because it's seemingly like we
Have
can't.
him come out and look at it.
Okay, because it's growing uncontrollably, and it literally can hurt someone because it grows to the street, so cars can come through it. And
Just have Joe come out and look at it, okay?
Okay.
So, here's my take, guys. I don't think we have a violation here,
I agree.
okay? So, do we need a motion?
Or
just to find them not in violation?
1 second, Joe, did you say they're applying for the permit, or?
I was trying to look to see if I could find it.
They're going through the process, so the other
For
tree.
the one
I
that
mean,
was removed?
it wasn't a tree, it was
No,
it was
for
a
the
dead
other
stump.
tree that will be
Yeah.
impacted by the ineligible
We can't
seawall.
talk, we got it.
So that will require a permit, but not until the permit, the applications come in and we've issued for a seawall.
You want to just dismiss this one then?
All right.
Yeah, they've
We'll make it
proven that-
easy on you. We'll go ahead and dismiss this case.
Very good,
Based on
thank
the
you.
evidence that we
Sorry you
have
had to come
heard
in,
tonight.
and,
Our pleasure. Thanks for educating us, and thank you, sir, for being so nice. We appreciate it. Thank you all.
We won't be back. Thank you.
We won't be back. We'll call you immediately.
Again, I wanted to mention that you can get a free tree, and always tell your friends you need a permit before you do anything.
I'm gonna be your biggest evangelist.
You get free trees, though.
Yeah, well, it's free trees with the city.
all right, guys, all right. And a reminder to the board, you can't have side conversations. Any conversation you have has to be public. Okay? Thank you. Next case, please.
Real quick, Cheryl, do you have that? We dismissed that case, so that'll kind of be,
I said that you suggested dismissing the case, and I just put case dismissed.
All right, next case, please.
Case number 25-2128, City versus Mutaz Mazouk, for the property located 7545 Terrace River Drive. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C, MH roofs, Section 8-102, subsection 22, MH maintenance of structures, Section 12-924, parking inoperable vehicles. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Danielle Batt. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Officer Batt with the Code Compliance. This case this evening was initiated by me on May 22nd, 2025, in violation of city codes of ordinances with courtesy door hangers, allowing time to correct prior to further enforcement. The code sections 8-102 subsection 13C for a tarp on the roof indicating that the roof shingles have defects and allowing moisture to enter the structure. 8-102 subsection 22 for damages in diminished areas of fascia and soffit. And 12-924 for the parking and or storage of inoperable vehicles on property which is prohibited. On June 3rd, 2025, upon reinspection, the violation continued, so a notice of violation was created with a reinspection date of July 18th, 2025, and posted this subject property. Requested posting in City Hall and electronic board and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. Upon reinspection on August 20th, 2025, the violation continued, so a notice of hearing was created, and on August 25th, 2025, and posted to subject property. Requested posted in City Hall and electronic board for the 10-day requirement, and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. As of my last inspection on September 8th, 2025, the property was still in violation, and at this time I would like to submit evidence for case number 25-2128 supporting the case and asking for a ruling.
Very good, thank you. We'll accept that. Any questions for the code officer?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Bill.
So all three violations are still out of compliance?
Exhibit A in that packet will be a copy of the notice of violation with affidavit of posting and photos. Exhibit B will be a copy of notice of hearing with affidavit of posting and photos. And Exhibit C will be a copy of affidavit of notice non-compliance and photos of reinspection from September 8th, 2025, prior to today's hearing.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? No respondent here?
I think he is here.
Oh, he is here, okay. Would you like to speak? Has he been sworn in? Okay, thank you. Name and address, please.
Montez Marzouk, 7545 Terrace River Drive.
Thank you.
The first notice I got, actually, my wife, I wasn't in town, and my wife seen the notice, and she said somebody would have notice on the door for cutting the grass, and we had somebody cut the grass. So I would recommend when you really put a notice or there is a violation, I'd recommend if you guys just have the pictures just exactly like you showing in here, because I didn't even know what exact violation until I asked the officer right now, actually, what is the problem. I know there is a problem with the roof. The roof is a little bit better than it was before. I've been fighting with the insurance company about replacing the roof for quite some time, and then at the end they refused to pay for it. I realized just I have to pay for it myself. And I've been looking for different contractors actually to take care of this, and some of them is really expensive, which I couldn't afford. And some of them is middle, but it's really expensive. So right now I do have few contractors in mind, and I want to choose one of them. And hopefully, within a small period of time, we get this roof taken care of. Because for these cars, actually, what was the problem with the cars?
They're inoperable vehicles.
The sticker?
You'll find that on the vehicles
Oh, this is today, I think, right?
That was actually September 8th. That was Monday.
Okay.
So in turns, many different things can make a vehicle inoperable. Even the sticker on the back of the vehicle can make it inoperable. It's not legally able to be driven on the road. Flat tires will make it inoperable. If you're missing an engine and I can see it, it's inoperable.
So which car are you talking about?
I want to say the red van and the red car behind it. I wasn't sure on that one because I can't see the tag without actually going around it, but there's a silver car as well in the front yard up by the front door with the bad tags. The stickers on them are actually expired.
Okay. Okay, so you're talking about the sticker. And they are valid actually, but it's not being put in on. But we take care of that, not a problem. So I would ask actually this is for the vehicle will be taken care of today, or maybe it's already been taken care of. For the roof and the facial, I'm negotiating, I would say, with some contractor to take care of that roof, and hopefully pretty soon. I don't know how long, but maybe few weeks. Okay, and we would get this taken care of.
Okay. Any questions for the respondent, Bill?
Yeah, I believe the code officer said that this started in May. Is that when it first started? So it seems like it's been a while.
Yeah, May 22nd.
Yeah, May. That you've had, to me, like quite a bit of time to resolve whatever issues you have as far as getting a contractor. Well, I guess I should jump back and say, when did you learn that you were going to be responsible for the payment for the roof repairs? What date do you have?
About 2 months ago.
Okay.
About a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and since then, actually, I've been looking for different contractors, actually, for different roofers, and every time I get one, actually, I don't know if you've been shopping for roofer, but it's really hard. It's really not.
They're usually shopping for me. They come by my house and ring the doorbell.
Yeah, they shop for you, but actually, it's not. Every time you get another one, you think, oh, this one is better than the other, and then you get an advertisement on Facebook or something. Oh, you get a free roof. Oh, okay, forget about that one, and let's get with this one because this is free roof. And there is some government assistance actually for roofing, I think. I don't know about it. But so you get confused. It's not really hard. It's not really simple actually to get a roof very quick. So that's why actually. And honestly, I didn't even know about the cars. I didn't even know there is a violation about the cars. I wish if there is a more simple, not codes, more simple actually, you have problem with the car. Just like you're right about the grass. Oh, you have a high grass, you need to cut it. Because actually, I'll be honest with you, my wife, she thought
it was a grass issue because my grass was high at the time. And we cut it. And then I called the officer and I said, oh, I cut my grass. And she said, no, you have more problems. And I didn't realize what the problems until actually.
Now you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions?
Do you have a rough idea when this roof repair could be done?
I hope within a month.
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay.
Very good. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Somebody?
All right, I'll do this one.
Thank you.
I can get myself organized here. Sorry about that.
Okay.
The delay.
Take your time.
All right. So in case number 25-2128, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 7545 Terrace River Drive. Code sections 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C. Section 8-102, subsection 22, and section 12-924. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Danielle Batt, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before October 8th, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $50 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. So you've been found in violation for the inoperable vehicles, the fascia, and the roof. Okay, so you have until October 8th to bring all those code violations into compliance. If for any reason you can't on any one of those, you can come back on October 8th to this room at the same time and ask for an extension. There is no guarantee you will receive an extension, but you are welcome to ask. Okay, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Have a good evening.
If I fix.
No, you gotta talk to the code officer after.
I fix the.
No, we're done. If you have questions, the code officer is the person to ask, and you can ask her right there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Case number 25-2854.
You want to take a break?
Motion to have a break.
Yeah, okay, it's been 2 hours. We'll
Yeah,
take a
it
break. See you guys back in a couple minutes. Thank you.
Be a line of it.
Almost there. Good. Can't taste anything yet, but I'm still.
Habib and Yvette Al Habib for the property located at 11002 Ridgedale Road. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-763. Tree removal penalty. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Okay, where's Lori?
She's on her way back in.
Okay. Hope so. Take your time, Lori.
See anything on the glasses? Okay, this case originated proactively on July the 25th, 2025. My inspection revealed that there had been several oak trees taken down in the front yard. I contacted Joe Ferris, who met me on site that same day. 13 sand oak trees and 1 crepe myrtle tree were removed from the front and the rear yard of the residence without permission from the city. At this time, a notice of irreparable, irreversible violation was prepared with immediate action required to correct the violation. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on July the 25th, 2025, which would be exhibit number 1, showing the notice letter posted at the front door.
We'll accept it, thank you.
As of today's date, the site remains out of compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling. Joe Ferris is here this evening for questions or concerns that the board may have.
You said there were 13 oak trees?
Yes, sir. 13 sand oak trees and 1 crepe myrtle tree were removed from the front and the rear yard of the property.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Joe Ferris, City of...
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Joe, thank you.
Okay, Joe Ferris, City Arborist. So on that, the 25th, as Lori had spoke, she reached out to me. I was out in the field, so I met her over there. Found that there were 13 stumps of sand live oaks that were removed and 1 crepe myrtle. At the time, there were 2 construction workers there on the site. So the images you're seeing now are of the stumps. I've numbered each stump, and then the DBH that's listed above for each number is based on the diameter of the stump that I found there. So at the time, there were 2 construction workers there because they're working on the inside of the home. One of them didn't speak English, the other was a little bit better. I had asked if they had a number for the owner or contractor or someone we could speak to about the tree removals. They handed me a phone of who I assumed was the owner at the time. I'm not sure if he was an owner or a contractor. So I had asked him about the trees being removed. He had said that he reached out to someone at the city and was told he should get a topographic survey before he removes any trees. And I said, well, you've already removed those trees. And then he wanted to have a discussion about meeting to talk about the remainder. I said, we need to deal with these first. So I asked if he could email me a copy of the topographic survey. He said that wouldn't be a problem. I said, let me review that and I can get back to you. This was late morning, so after I came back from lunch, I had an email from this person. I'm, again, not sure if he's a homeowner or contractor. And then I took this survey, because my intention at the time was to take measurements with the photos. But I kind of figured, okay, if he's got the survey, I can get the accurate DBH because those would be listed on there. So when I got back out there with the survey and tried to locate the clusters of trees that were in there, they do not match up what's on the survey. So what I've marked up is the general location of the trees that were removed. On the bottom of the survey, it was dated for original filing date of 7/17, which would have been a week before. And then there's a digital signature by the surveyor of 7/24, which is the day before the 25th that we found the stumps. So there's one of 2 things going on. They either asked them not to count those trees and they were removed before the survey, or they were were either asked not to count them and then were removed after the survey was done, or they were removed prior to the survey and they were not counted. They are very fresh cuts. I guess in a week's time, that could have still looked that light color. But there's something shady, in my opinion, going on. Yeah, so doesn't match. The numbers, the math doesn't math.
Okay, either way, they were not included in the survey.
Yes. So again, it was 13 sand live oaks, 1 crepe myrtle.
You said that the total DBH is 120 inches?
Yeah, total 120 inches with all of them added up. The crepe myrtle is not included in that because crepe myrtles are not a mitigated tree. They're not considered a canopy tree. So mitigation would be involved. It would need permit approval for removal, but so that wouldn't count towards those inches for replacement.
Any other questions?
I don't know where to start on this one. So I guess the first question is, what's the difference between a live oak and a sand live oak?
So sand live oak and live oak are very similar in trees in the quality of the tree, much like a live oak. Variances in the leaves, and they tend to grow in clusters like you see here with these stumps. So there's generally much smaller in size, but because of the way they grow in clusters, form a large canopy when they're at maturity like these would have been.
Okay. And would there have been, what's the remediation? Are they going to have to plant a
Yeah, so
new tree?
the mitigation would be 13 trees, so 1 per each because it's residential property, and we're looking at, again, a 3-inch caliper on those trees. And then whatever fine, if we base it on the inches based on the new matrix, it would be costly because I believe that would put it in the $100 per inch for fine. So you're looking at $12,000 fine if that's the route you go.
And the 3 inches, what's the gallon size on that?
That would be, again, that 45 gallon, yeah.
13 45-gallon trees.
Yes.
Plus the fine.
Plus the fine, yes.
Any other questions?
Yes. This is a house?
This is a house, and again, they were doing remodeling, so I came back to the office. There were no permits. Dallas did go out and put stop work orders. When we were there, Lori and I were there, and we walked to the backyard to see that. The door was open. The walls were stripped down to studs, and they have a dumpster out front. Not a city dumpster, one of their own.
No permits on anything?
No permits on anything. So there are now stop work orders on the property for the work that's being done inside the house.
No tree permits?
No tree permits.
No permits, period.
Yeah, no permits. Yeah, for everything that's being done, there are no permits.
Did you by any chance reach out to the surveyor about the trees?
I haven't, no.
Okay. Did you, I guess, confront the homeowner about that to say, hey, there's, like you said, the math doesn't math?
Yeah, and he didn't have much to say on that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know that he's a homeowner or if he's a contractor.
Okay.
That wasn't clear to me at the time. So I don't know the situation of what's going on with.
Have you talked to the homeowner that you know of?
No, not that I know of.
That confirmed anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Bill.
So the $12,000 you were mentioning, that's based on each.
That's based
each tree?
on the matrix, yeah, because I believe it falls in the 100, because it's not a grand.
Right.
So it would be the non-grand, and I believe that's 100 per inch for fines. If you go that route, that's.
100 per, no, well,
I believe for the non-grand.
Okay.
Unless I'm looking at.
Okay, it's 120 inches total.
Right.
And it's $100 per inch, that's $12,000.
Okay, I got you, okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Somebody hasn't made one, want to take us?
No, I wanted to ask, the homeowner is not here?
No, nobody's here.
Oh, okay. Lori, can I have a question to Lori? Lori is the.
Do you need it to make the motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lori, can you come up for a minute?
Can I just clarify on that matrix? So they were the live oaks, so that's where the $100 is. They're just not the grand size. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, just wanted to clarify that.
What's your question, Rod?
Yes, Lori, did you see the homeowners?
No, sir, I didn't.
No contact whatsoever?
There wasn't anybody that I saw until the contractor, and then Joe actually kind of started talking to them. We were just trying to get a hold of the homeowner.
And there
wasn't anybody else there.
Serious situation too.
I don't think that they knew how serious it was. I don't think that they knew how serious of a situation that this was.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
If you'll notice, the only citation on this is the 12-763, which is the removal. The one thing that was omitted was 768, which is the need to have a tree. No, 763 is the replacement. 768 is the no permit. What I'd like to do is continue this case for a month so we can add that violation, get a new notice out to the people.
For both.
For the 768, 12-768.
Come back, it'll be for both.
Yeah, it will be for both.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll have the homeowners.
Yeah, that would be nice too. It's always nice to have them here.
We need a motion to,
Okay, I can do it. In case number
continue to a date.
25-2999, I move that we continue our address at 11002 Ridgedale Road, code section 12-763. I move that we continue this case until our next meeting of October 8th, 2025.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Bill?
I did.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case. I think we're back to the beginning, right?
Yes.
We go normal.
It'll be 2854.
Case number 252854, City versus Robert Lawrence Estes for the property located at 9214 Overlook Drive. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3 subsection B, sanitation grass weeds. This case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was opened by me on July 16th, 2025 for overgrown conditions. I left a door hanger on that date with a reinspection dated July 21st, 2025. My reinspection on July 30th showed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of August 6th. I posted a copy of the notice of violation at the front door, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on August 25th showed no change. No notice of hearing was prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the September Municipal Code Board meeting. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on July 30th and August 27th and September 10th.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the measurement of the grass at over 12 inches taken on July 30th. Exhibit number 3 shows the posting of the notice of hearing. Exhibit number 4 shows the front yard currently. And exhibit number 5 shows the south side yard with weeds over 12 inches. The site was mowed recently, actually about a week ago, so you can imagine how high the grass had been from July till a week ago, on top of the 12 inches that was photographed then. But the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Thank you. Any questions?
It is in compliance?
It's
or
not.
Not in compliance. So it's regrown or whatever. Okay.
Well, when it was cut, it was probably already at 8 inches when he cut it.
There's no, go ahead.
Have you had any contact with the homeowner about it? Like,
I believe Director Shanks has. I haven't spoken with anybody.
So I made several attempts to reach out to him over the past couple of months. Well, past few weeks anyway. The most recent thing, I sent him an email, and I got a response back that he didn't want to talk to me about it, that he would meet me here. So he's not here. The grass at one point was every bit of 24 inches, and it was laying over. He would not cut it. Didn't respond to our interactions to get it cut. And then last week he did cut it down to about 12 inches, which was a remarkable improvement. But like Mr. Doug said, it's over 12 inches again.
Good. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I got
Go
this
ahead,
one.
Ryan.
Right here.
Okay. Or whoever, somebody.
All right. In case number 25-2930, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code.
Case number is wrong.
2896.
2854 should be.
2854. Is that what he's?
Go ahead and start over. Case number is
2854, got you, okay. In case number 25-2854, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on property located at 9214 Overlook Drive. Violation section 10-3, subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before October 8, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each day and every day the violation continues for past the date for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine to be $50 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 25-2896, City versus Esteban Ignacio Leal, for the property located at 8724 Coral Dawn Court. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3, subsection B, sanitation grass weeds. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening once again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on July 18th, 2025 for overgrown conditions. I left a door hanger with a reinspection dated July 22nd. My reinspection on August 1st showed no change, so a notice of violation was generated on that date with a reinspection date of August 6, 2025. I posted the notice at the front door, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on August 25th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date in the case and scheduled the case for the September Municipal Code Board meeting. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on August 1st and August 25th, as well as I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance because the site is in compliance and I'm seeking a finding.
Very good, thank you. We'll certainly accept that.
Finally, we have one.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Go ahead, Rod.
Yes, sir. In case number 25-2896, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 8724 Coral Dawn Court, with the applicable code violation section 10-3 subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and a notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there'll be no fine imposed because the violation will be brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 252920, City versus Don Tia Iyer Jr. for the property located at 8204 Hardy Place. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3, subsection A, sanitation grass weeds, 150 feet. This case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Danielle Batt. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Officer Batt with Code Compliance. This case this evening was initiated by me on July 21st, 2025, in violation of City's Code of Ordinance with a courtesy door hanger allowing time to correct the correct prior to further enforcement. The code section is 10-3 for the overgrowth of grass and weeds exceeding the allowable 12 inches in height. On August 2nd, 2025, upon reinspection, the violation continued, so a notice of violation was created with a reinspection date of August 11th, 2025, and posted this subject property, requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board, and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. Upon reinspection on August 19th, 2025, the violation continued, so a notice of hearing was created, and on August 25th, 2025, and posted to the subject property, requested posting to City Hall on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement, and sent both certified mail and regular mail to the address of record. As of my last inspection on September 9th, 2025, property was in compliance. At this time, I would like to submit evidence for case number 25-2920, supporting the case and ask for a finding of fact, so I may close the case upon receiving the official order.
We'll set that, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Do you have a question? Oh,
So
sorry.
it's in
One question.
compliance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
You got this one?
Brian, thank you.
Yeah, in case number 25-2920, I move the city is proven by a greater weight of evidence that the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 8204 Hardy Place, Code Section 10-3, subsection A. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 25-1861, CD versus SRP Sub LLC, for the property located at 12918 Terrace Springs Drive. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection B, MH exterior walls. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members, Larry Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on May the 5th, 2025. My inspection revealed all exterior walls on the structure were heavily faded. At this time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of the 16th of June 2025. My reinspection on June 17th, 2025 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of the 14th of July, 2025. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted on the electronic board for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on May the 5th, 2025, which the photos represented do not adequately show the extremely faded walls. However, I am testifying that the structure needs to be entirely painted.
Thank you, we'll accept those.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the front and the north side wall faded. Exhibit number 3 shows the front and the south side wall faded. As of today's date, the site remains out of compliance and I'm seeking a ruling.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead.
Have you had any contact with the owner?
No, sir, I have not had no contact at all. It's a rental property.
Oh, okay.
If I may, I have had contact with the, well, on August 28th, I reached out to the home, the occupant. The occupant gave me access or information to contact Invitation Homes, who is the owner. I contacted Invitation Homes, got no response. The 29th, I called Invitation Homes back. I got a receptionist. They're out of Dallas, Texas. They put me on hold for a while. I got hold of somebody eventually. They told me that they would give the information to the local office. Took my name and number. I never got a call back. September 2nd, I reached out again. I got another receptionist. They apologized for nobody getting back to me, and they asked me to be patient, and then ended the conversation. This morning, I got a phone call from the local office asking about what's going on in this evening. They're also receiving violations from their HOA for the same exact thing. So they said there's an open work order on this. They don't have an answer as to why it hasn't been enacted upon yet. She's digging, the lady I spoke to today is digging into that. So Invitation Homes is aware of the violations, the local office, and what they need to do. They just haven't done anything yet.
So when you say you have an open work order, does that mean they're gonna paint it, or they have what is that? I'm not sure.
According to the representative I spoke to from the local office from Invitation Homes today, they have an open work order that's been open for quite some time to paint the home in entirety. It just has not happened yet, and she's trying to find out why.
Okay.
Very good. Any other questions? Go ahead.
He answered the question because I,
Okay, then there's no other questions.
well, yeah, I looked at the photos.
Okay,
I'm
but there's no
not
other,
sure,
no,
yeah.
okay, is there a
I'm
question
not
or
sure
not?
if it's, but she testified
Okay,
that she
thank
needs painting.
There's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do it.
Thank you.
All right. And let me make sure I got the right case here. Case number 25-1861. I've moved that the city has proved by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 12918 Terrace Springs Drive. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before October 8th, 2025. If the respondents do not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 25-2391, City versus A&T Hospitality Tampa LLC for the property located at 13294 Telecom Drive. This case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-1043, Plant, Material, and Design. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively May the 5th, 2025. My inspection revealed the site had little to no mulch. At this time, I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of the 5th of June, 2025. My reinspection on the 11th of June, 2025 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 26th of June, 2025. Affidavit of service was obtained by hand delivery to Maintenance Supervisor James Arbello. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on June the 11th, 2025.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the front plant bed's lack of mulch. Exhibit number 2 shows front bed plant lack of mulch. Exhibit number 3 shows the north side plant bed's lack of mulch. As of today's date, the site is out of compliance, and I am seeking a ruling. They have started the project, though. They did start, so I would imagine, sir, if you would, and the board would give a little bit more time, I believe that they would be able to get this done in the next 30 days, as it was already started.
Very good. Thank you. Any
Yes,
other
sir.
questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Okay.
Sorry.
In case number 25-2391, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 13294 Telecom Drive, with applicable code violation section 12-1043. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before October 8th, 2025. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past that date set for compliance upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violation committed by the violator. I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case.
Done.
I think we're done.
We're done?
Yeah.
Regular cases.
Yes. Okay, so now on to unfinished business.
business.
Case number 25-1872, City versus Bassam Muhammad, for the property located at 11006 North 61st Street. The deadline for compliance was extended to September 10th, 2025. An affidavit of compliance was received September 8th, 2025. Case number 25-1944, City versus Abdul Hussan and Shabani and Atusa Amiri, for the property located at 332 Sunnyside Road. The deadline for compliance was September 10th, 2025. It is still not in compliance. Case number 25-1963, City versus Perez Roy and Kathleen Sarah Lerner, for the property located at 6006 Soaring Ave. The deadline for compliance was extended until September 10th, 2025. It's still not in compliance. In case number 25-1873, City versus Broadway Corner LLC, for the property located at 10911 North 56th Street. The deadline for compliance was September 10th, 2025. We have an affidavit of compliance received September 5th, 2025. Case number 24-2001, City versus Deborah E. Holton and Holton Fisher and James H. Fisher, for the property located at 511 Garage Drive. The deadline for compliance was September 9th, 2025. It's still not in compliance.
Can I provide a little bit of an update on that one from the building official? A demolition permit has been issued and work has begun. Electrical panels will be temporarily installed on plywood and posts during the construction of the new garage. Our building official met with the contractor at the site to discuss the process for securing the existing structure and electrical system during demolition to allow the residents to remain in the home, and the garage work does not affect the habitation of the remaining residents. And then just to correct, want to double check something on the case number 25-1963, 6006 Soaring Avenue. I believe that's in compliance, is it not? That is in compliance.
Yes.
Which case number was that?
1963.
1963. Was there an affidavit of compliance?
And it was for, everything that it was cited for has been complied with. There's still work to be done, but what it was cited for is complete.
Do we have a date? I'll just put was issued.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Case number 24-2577.
Hang on. Rod, you got a question?
Yes, the case number 25-2001, you just read it, 24, is it wrong on our end or?
No, I'm
on you?
reading the next one.
Oh, no, it's, when you read it,
Oh.
you read it 24.
My sheet, it's 24-2001.
Yeah, on our sheet, 25.
Okay, I'll have to, I'll look at the agenda.
Are they asking for an extension?
Assuming it's 25. Okay, it is 25-2001.
Okay, thank you.
I have not, the only thing I had was from the building.
What the update? Okay. Oh, okay.
I believe I can provide an update on that one.
Okay.
Of the 4 violations I have, because demolition has moved along quite quickly, and that was what most of the violations interred the last time. So I believe of the 4 violations, there's a good chance by tomorrow morning upon an inspection, I'll be able to put at least 3 of the violations in compliance.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Sheriff.
Case number 24-2577.
Again,
Is that right, or is that another error?
252577.
Okay, so it's another error. City versus Rishi Harjani, Jay Harjani, and Vinu Harjani for the property located at 7706 Willow Park Drive. The deadline for compliance was September 10th, 2025. Case number, this one is 24.
This one, yeah.
24-2568. City versus Resch Ann Von Hoff for the property located at 423 South River Hills Drive. The deadline for compliance was September 11, 2024. Affidavit of compliance we received August 27, 2025. And this is a really old case. Case number 17-2746, City versus James Stevens and Glenda K. Johnson for the property located at 104 Holland Avenue. The deadline for compliance was January 10th, 2018, and the affidavit of compliance was received August 18th, 2025.
wow, 7 years later.
$50 a day per. You'll be talking to them soon.
Already,
Yeah.
Yes?
Really?
This violation was a vehicle without a license plate on it.
Yeah.
Older couple, not, had some health issues. Anyhow, there was as you can imagine, there was a very $50 per day since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
There was a significant fine reduction.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's
I'll
good.
be,
That's
uh,
good.
I'll be reporting that one to city council.
Okay. Good. Very good.
That's nice of
Can we
you.
go back to this case number 25-1944? Is that a question for the director of code?
1944.
That's the one where they had piles of dirt in the front yard and they had driveway permits and all this kind of stuff. I'm just curious, was there any progress made at all? And did he do anything?
Yes, he has made progress. Officer Bat's been working with the gentleman. He has removed most of, if not all of the dirt piles at this time, and he's transferred all that over to the driveway area that's unimproved. He has done a lot of landscaping. He has pressure washed the home. The backyard area is still visible from the road, and it is very, very overgrown. So that portion has not met compliance yet. He is anticipating pouring the driveway. He is going to do that, and then our team here at Public Works is going to repair the gutter area, so that way the driveway can be poured or be used. So he is working on it. It's just he's not in compliance yet.
Yeah, I wonder why he didn't show up for an extension, because, I mean, he probably would have, all we asked was that he showed some progress, I think, though, if I remember the case.
We assumed he was going to be here tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
But we do have contact with him, so
Okay.
I'll be reaching out to him tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Any other board action? Anything to report on liens?
Just that one.
Okay. Any new business? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, that was a long one, for sure.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah.
Still had hopes to be out of here by now.
Delusional. Sir, can we take these with us?